Sagittarius, September 2026 is a month of significant shifts in your professional direction, your network, and your vision of where you're heading next. The first half of the month focuses on career, reputation, and tangible achievements, while the second half gradually shifts your attention toward the people you surround yourself with, collaborative projects, and long-term goals that will shape your next chapter. The new moon on September 11th falls in Virgo in your 10th house of career, opening an entirely new professional cycle. This can bring a new position, a major project, an important offer, or the decision to change your career path altogether. September is the month when plans you've been preparing for over a long period finally begin taking concrete form. The full moon on September 26 lights up Aries in your 5th house, bringing culmination to matters involving love, children, creativity, and personal passions. A romantic chapter may reach an important turning point, a creative project may finally produce results, or something you've invested your heart and energy into begins paying off. These two lunations connect your professional ambitions with your personal fulfillment. September reminds you that career success becomes truly meaningful when it allows you to express your unique talents, create something that genuinely belongs to you, and find personal purpose in your work. Your ruling planet Jupiter continues traveling through Leo and your 9th house all month, expanding opportunities connected with education, travel, international affairs, publishing, teaching, and professional development. New knowledge, connections abroad, higher education, or reaching a wider audience can directly influence the career decisions you make this September. The South Node also remains in Leo and your 9th house, meaning you're simultaneously releasing outdated goals. Some educational plans, old beliefs about your future, or previous visions of success may no longer feel relevant. Meanwhile, the North Node in Aquarius and your 3rd house gradually redirects your growth toward practical communication, learning concrete skills, writing, negotiations, documentation, networking, and building meaningful professional relationships. One of the most important astrological stories of the month involves Venus, which entered its upcoming retrograde shadow on August 31st. That shadow period continues until December 15th, while Venus itself turns retrograde on October 3rd. The events unfolding in September are only the opening chapter of a much longer story that will continue through the fall. Until September 10th, Venus remains in Libra and your 11th house. Friends, professional networks, audiences, communities, and collaborative plans become increasingly important. Partnership or opportunity to join an exciting project could significantly broaden your horizons. After September 10th, Venus moves into Scorpio and your 12th house. From that point on, some relationship matters and financial developments become more private. You may need quiet time to process emotions, complete unfinished business, prepare a new project behind the scenes, or simply keep certain decisions to yourself until they're fully formed. Because Venus will later retrograde through Scorpio, the situations that begin after September 10th are likely to return for review during October and November. Until September 23rd, the Sun continues moving through Virgo in your 10th house. This makes the first half of September especially important for career, reputation, leadership, and professional achievement. Greater responsibility may arrive, but so do greater opportunities to demonstrate your expertise. Once the Sun enters Libra, your attention naturally shifts into the 11th house, placing greater emphasis on future goals, professional communities, audiences, friendships, and the people you want beside you during your next stage of growth. September beautifully weaves together career advancement, expanding your knowledge, and personal fulfillment. The new moon launches a new professional chapter. Jupiter continues opening new horizons, and the full moon reveals which personal passions and creative pursuits deserve a much larger place in your future. Your greatest challenge this month is choosing a direction where professional success doesn't require sacrificing what truly matters to you, but instead allows your knowledge, experience, and individuality to shine even more brightly. Now let's explore the month day by day. September 1st. Mars in Cancer and your 8th house forms a square to retrograde Saturn in Aries in your 5th house. The beginning of September may force you to evaluate whether your personal desires, romantic relationships, or creative projects truly align with your financial reality. You may need to revise a budget, reconsider your investment in a joint venture, or adjust how much you're willing to commit to something that's deeply important to you. In relationships, disagreements may revolve around shared finances, obligations, or differing ideas about where the partnership should be heading. If you're working on a creative endeavor, this aspect makes it clear that inspiration alone isn't enough. It now requires structure, planning, and discipline. At the same time, Mercury in Virgo and your 10th house forms a supportive sextile to Mars in the 8th. A detailed conversation helps resolve issues involving funding, compensation, shared resources, partner contributions, or responsibilities. This is an excellent time to negotiate contracts, discuss project budgets, and establish the financial framework of an important collaboration. September 6 to 9, Venus continues moving through Libra and your 11th house. During these days, friends, professional organizations, audiences, and collaborative goals become especially significant. A new acquaintance, partnership opportunity, or influential contact may open an important door. On September 8th, Venus forms a trine to the North Node in Aquarius and your 3rd house, while also making a sextile to the South Node in Leo and your 9th house. This is an excellent period for networking, learning, publishing, marketing your work, and expanding your professional relationships. One conversation or introduction can help transform broad ideas into practical next steps. If you've spent too much time focusing on distant dreams, this transit reminds you to concentrate on what you can accomplish in the coming weeks. Complete paperwork, schedule important meetings, begin a course, start writing, or publish your ideas. On September 9th, Venus forms a sextile to Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius in your 1st house. It becomes easier to honestly express your own needs rather than constantly adapting to what others expect from you. In friendships and collaborations, it's important to ask whether these relationships are truly balanced, or whether you're continually trying to fit someone else's image of who you should be. September 10th, Venus enters Scorpio in your 12th house. After several socially active weeks, some areas of your life become much more private. You may feel drawn to step away from unnecessary noise, process your emotions, quietly close an old chapter, or prepare a project that isn't quite ready for public attention. Because Venus is already traveling through its retrograde shadow, events unfolding now are likely to continue developing throughout the fall. Someone from your past may reappear, an old relationship issue may resurface, or an unresolved emotional story may finally ask for closure. On the same day, Venus opposes Chiron in Taurus and your 6th house. Your emotional life may begin affecting your work, daily routines, or physical well-being more noticeably. You may realize that constant productivity has left too little room for healing, rest, or dealing with something you've been carrying inside for far too long. Also on September 10th, Mercury enters Libra in your 11th house. A highly productive period begins for teamwork, networking, planning future projects, engaging with your audience, and building professional relationships. This is an excellent time to connect with like-minded people, negotiate partnerships, and create plans that extend several months into the future. That same day, Uranus stations retrograde in Gemini and your 7th house. Relationships and partnerships now enter a period of reassessment. Someone from your past may return, an old proposal could reappear, or an issue you've already discussed may require another conversation. It becomes increasingly clear that the current structure of an important relationship may no longer work, and needs new agreements, healthier boundaries, or an entirely new approach. September 11, New Moon in Virgo and your 10th house. This new moon launches an entirely new professional cycle. A new position, an important project, an offer from leadership, or the decision to change your career direction may arrive now. If you're building your own business, this is an excellent time to launch a new phase, refine your strategy, and define your professional identity more clearly. Virgo always asks for precision and practical planning. Right now, it's essential to understand exactly which skills, certifications, documents, and concrete actions will take you to the next level. White Moon Selena is also traveling through this house, suggesting that support may come through a respected mentor, supervisor, experienced professional, or someone who recognizes your abilities and helps you advance. September 12th, Mercury in Libra and your 11th house forms a trine to Pluto in Aquarius and your 3rd house, while opposing Neptune in Aries and your 5th house. This is an important day for collaborative projects, negotiations, brainstorming, and strategic communication. Mercury's trine to Pluto helps you understand people on a much deeper level and communicate with greater influence. A promising idea for a project, publication, educational platform, or new content may emerge, one that has the potential to attract an entirely new audience. However, Mercury's opposition to Neptune asks for extra caution in matters involving creativity, romance, and personal expectations. Don't accept beautiful promises at face value, or assume that someone else sees the situation exactly as you do. If you're discussing a joint venture, make sure everyone agrees on goals, timelines, responsibilities, and expectations before moving forward. September 14th, Mercury in your 11th house forms a trine to retrograde Uranus in your 7th house. An unexpected proposal or a surprising introduction could completely reshape your plans for the coming months. This is an excellent day to seek new partnerships, discuss unconventional collaborations, embrace innovative technology, and explore fresh approaches to teamwork. You may unexpectedly reconnect with someone with whom you once discussed working together, and this time, the timing may finally be right. Also on September 14th, Black Moon Lilith enters Capricorn and your 2nd house. Over the coming months, you'll want to be especially mindful of money, self-worth, and financial decisions. There may be a temptation to prove your value through income, expensive purchases, or outward status, but your strongest financial choices will come from genuine needs rather than from trying to impress others. September 15th, Venus in Scorpio in your 12th house forms a square to retrograde Pluto in Aquarius and your 3rd house. Information may surface that completely changes your perspective on a person, a conversation, or a situation from the past. An old message, unfinished discussion, or unresolved story may return, asking to be addressed once and for all. In relationships, jealousy, distrust, or attempts to control the situation through silence or emotional withdrawal can become more noticeable. Yet this very process reveals motivations that have remained hidden until now. Professionally, this aspect may show that communication within a team or during negotiations has been incomplete, or that important information was missing. Avoid jumping to conclusions or entering unnecessary confrontations until you've gathered all the facts. Because Venus is still traveling through its retrograde shadow, the developments unfolding in mid-September are only the beginning. They will continue evolving and become much clearer later this fall. This period reveals which relationships, agreements, and emotional attachments are ready for profound transformation. September 18th, Chiron returns to Aries and your 5th house, once again drawing attention to love, children, creativity, and your personal passions. Issues that surfaced earlier this year may now require another look. This could involve the future of a creative project, your confidence in your talents, a romantic relationship, your relationship with a child, or simply reconnecting with the activities that bring genuine joy and fulfillment. At the same time, Mercury in Libra and your 11th house opposes Saturn in your 5th house. Future plans now have to be balanced with your personal priorities. A group project may require more time than you're realistically able to give. Professional responsibilities may begin competing with your own creative work. Relationships may reach a point where long-term intentions need to be clarified. If you're building your own business, developing content, or growing an audience, this transit helps you move from inspiration to structure. It's an excellent time to determine what can realistically be accomplished with the resources currently available to you. September 22nd, Mercury in Libra and your 11th house forms a sextile to Jupiter in Leo and your 9th house. This is a wonderful aspect for education, publishing, negotiations, international connections, and expanding your audience. As your ruling planet, Jupiter creates a powerful bridge between your 9th and 11th houses, allowing your knowledge, expertise, and experience to attract valuable new relationships and opportunities. You may receive an invitation to join a project, teach, speak publicly, publish your work, or collaborate with people from another city or another country. This is an ideal time to submit applications, handle paperwork, work on educational or media-related projects, and connect with professional organizations. Sometimes all it takes is one conversation. Someone already in your network may point you toward an opportunity you had never considered before. September 23rd, the Sun enters Libra and your 11th house. After several weeks focused on career achievements and professional visibility, your attention naturally shifts toward a new question. Who do you want to build your future with? Friends, professional communities, audiences, collaborators, and long-term goals now take center stage. If you've started a new position, launched a project, or clarified your professional direction during the first half of September, it's now time to find the people and resources that can help you develop it further. The end of the month brings opportunities to expand your network, become part of a new community, or begin an exciting collaborative venture. September 26th, full moon in Aries and your 5th house. This full moon illuminates your 5th house, bringing important developments in love, children, creativity, and your personal passions. Something you've poured your heart into becomes visible now. A creative project may reach completion, a launch or presentation may finally happen, or the work you've invested so much of yourself in begins producing tangible results. A significant event may also unfold in your romantic life or involve a child. If you're in a relationship, this full moon can clarify where things are headed. Your connection may deepen and take on a more defined shape, or it may become obvious that the two of you envision very different futures. The 5th house also represents your right to create, simply because something is personally meaningful to you. This full moon may reveal the outcome of a much deeper inner journey, how much room you've truly left in your life for your own happiness after meeting professional obligations and everyone else's expectations. Because the full moon falls across the 5th-11th house axis, you're being asked to find balance between your individual desires and collective goals. For example, your personal project may begin demanding more of your time, making it difficult to balance with team responsibilities. In another case, a relationship may reshape your social circle or your long-term plans. Events involving a child may also influence your schedule and future priorities. At nearly the same time, the Sun in your 11th house opposes Neptune in your 5th house, while forming a harmonious trine to Pluto in your 3rd house. The opposition to Neptune encourages you to be more realistic about romantic expectations and creative visions. A project may appear full of promise, but still lack a sustainable structure. In relationships, it's important to distinguish between actual agreements and the story you've been telling yourself about what the relationship could become. Meanwhile, the Sun's trine to Pluto helps uncover missing information, encourages an honest conversation, and supports a change in strategy. Sometimes one sincere discussion reveals which project deserves your energy, and which people are genuinely committed to building it alongside you. September 27-28. Before changing signs, Mars in the final degrees of Cancer and your 8th house forms a square to Chiron in your 5th house. Shared finances and personal desires now require careful balancing. A creative project, a relationship, or something involving a child may require additional financial investment. You may need to decide how many shared resources you're willing to dedicate to a personal goal. In relationships, similar questions arise around financial responsibility: who contributes what, and whether one person's decisions truly take the other's needs into account. On September 28th, Mars enters Leo and your 9th house. This begins a much more dynamic period for education, travel, international opportunities, publishing, legal matters, and expanding your horizons. If the previous weeks centered on financial obligations and complex shared resource issues, you now gain far more freedom to move forward. What's especially important is that Mars joins your ruling planet Jupiter in the same house, significantly accelerating all 9th house matters. This can mark the beginning of a new course of study, intensive preparation for travel or relocation, visa or legal paperwork, the launch of an educational project, or expanding your work to an international audience. At the same time, Mars increases your desire to move quickly, while Jupiter amplifies your ambitions. Just be mindful not to commit to more than you can realistically manage. Also on this day, the Sun in your 11th house forms a trine to retrograde Uranus in your 7th house. An unexpected introduction or partnership offer may completely reshape your future plans. A business partner may suggest an exciting new way of working together, or someone you've only recently met could introduce you to an influential project or professional community. If your relationships or collaborations have already gone through changes over the summer, the end of September offers a freer, healthier, and more mutually supportive model for moving forward. September 29th, Mercury in Libra and your 11th house forms a trine to the North Node in Aquarius, while opposing Chiron in Aries. One conversation, meeting, or piece of information could significantly influence your future direction. The connection between your 11th and 3rd houses is especially powerful for work involving audiences, social media, education, writing, negotiations, networking, and collaborative projects. A valuable contact, promising opportunity, or inspiring idea may quickly develop into something practical and productive. At the same time, Mercury's opposition to Chiron in your 5th house brings your personal role back into focus. Not every exciting group project truly leaves room for your individuality. If you've been sacrificing your own ideas for the sake of a team's vision, you'll become especially aware of it now. In relationships, a similar dynamic may appear between your personal desires and the expectations of friends or a partner. September 30th. Mercury enters Scorpio and your 12th house. Joining Venus there, Mercury shifts part of your life into a quieter, more reflective space. After an active and eventful September, you'll benefit from reviewing everything you've learned, organizing information, completing paperwork, preparing your next steps, and resisting the urge to announce every plan before it's fully ready. An unfinished conversation, someone from your past, or information that never received proper closure may return. It's especially significant that Venus is already moving through its retrograde shadow and will station retrograde in Scorpio on October 3rd. That means the relationships, financial matters, and decisions now developing behind the scenes have not yet reached their final form. Many September agreements, emotions, and financial situations will return for another round of discussion in October. The end of the month is best used for preparation, rather than forcing immediate results. Fortunately, Mars and Jupiter together in your 9th house are already opening the next chapter, one centered on education, travel, important documents, publishing, and expanding your professional opportunities. Sagittarius, September is the month when professional changes begin directly shaping your future. The new moon opens a brand new career cycle and helps you define your next professional goal. The full moon highlights developments in love, creativity, children, and personal passions, reminding you that your own happiness deserves just as much attention as your ambitions. Your ruling planet Jupiter continues moving through your ninth house, and by the end of the month, Mars joins it there. After the career decisions of early September, an exciting new chapter begins, filled with learning, travel, international opportunities, publishing, and expanding beyond familiar boundaries. At the same time, Uranus continues reshaping your partnerships, while Venus begins a much longer story, unfolding quietly behind the scenes, in relationships and finances. By the end of September, you'll have much greater clarity, not only about what you want to accomplish, but also about which people, knowledge, and opportunities are truly capable of leading you into the next chapter of your life. I wish you a wonderful September, dear Sagittarius. May this month bring you confidence, meaningful opportunities, and the courage to step boldly into the future that's waiting for you.